first time I trained a deaf dog, I was talking for like the first 3 days, and my wife's like, "What are you doing? She can't hear you." I'm like, you're right. So I kind of stopped talking.
I talked to her all day.
It makes us feel better, right? So because she's deaf, first thing is teaching her that when you feel this vibrating, to look at mom. And we do that by charging the vibrate. Meaning when you're at home in your living room, you press the vibrate, give her a very high reward, very high.
Hey everybody, Nikki here, and I am here with Tom from Off Leash Canine Training, and my dog Angel, and he has been helping me. She's deaf, and it's been a bit of a challenge, so I'm so glad that I came across you guys and talk a little bit more about what we've been doing. And
Will do. All right, cool. So Off Leash Canine Training, we are a franchise, very large franchise, a largest dog training company in the United States. We work with all dogs, big, small, like this guy, deaf. We've done a couple blind dogs. I don't know if we've ever done blind and deaf, but what makes us special is that we utilize remote collar training. Shot collar training, call it what you want. Just like I kind of talked about earlier, is we can take this leash and we can choke her. Or we can use the leash to get her attention. We can take a hammer and we can build things. Or we can take a hammer and we can do the opposite, tear things down. So it's all about how you use it. So with a deaf dog, it's very important because how are we going to get her attention? When she's 20, 30 feet away, she's looking the opposite direction. We need something to reach out and touch her, and that's what the remote collar does. So what we've been doing is conditioning her that the vibration sensation is to get her attention. So when she feels that vibration on the collar, she knows to look for mom. Then once she finds mom, then we utilize our training methods, which has got us to the success that we are today, is because our training methods are able to create communication between dog handler, dog owner, and the dog in a very fast period of time.
yeah, yep. And a well-trained dog. I mean, we had dogs growing up, and I think there's just such a difference in the dynamic.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's already chaos in your house, so to have a dog add to that, I mean, that's why dogs probably get sent back to.
I tell people all the time,
so
think about it. The most successful dog training companies in the United States are all e-collar trainers. There's got to be a reason for that. It's because it works when it's done correctly.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of times for me, especially with the deaf dog, it's like, what if she was in a dangerous situation? How do I get her attention? And I've done this with my other dogs as well. So I love just working with you on this because there's so many correlations to parenting and being a mom and how we communicate with our kids, and just those, they're so aligned.
The biggest, I hear it all the time is, does this work on my kids? Yeah. Does this work on my husband? Does this work on my wife? Can I put this on them? But yeah, it's amazing, the correlation between raising a child and raising a puppy. And one thing I explain to people quite often, you have different types of training. You have balanced trainers, which are trainers that teach by utilizing pretty much the same concepts as parenting. Is when you do something wrong, there's going to be a consequence. When you do something right, there's going to be a positive reaction to that. Now with treat training, 100% treat training, 100% positive training, it has its place, but you're not, in my opinion, you are not going to get a dog that redirects from running over to a puppy or running into the street chasing a squirrel. You're not going to get a dog that redirects using a treat, because once that motivation is more important than your treat or your voice, all bets are off. And I can say that's probably 90, if I were to throw numbers out, 90% of dog owners out there, that's how they try to get their dog's attention, is with a treat or with their voice. So what happens is when they really need their dog's attention, they can't get it because the motivation's not there. And with proper communication with the remote collar, the dogs learn, oh, I'm feeling a tickle, I'm feeling a discomfort, I need to listen and I need to recall or sit or down. And that's how we get the results that we do get.
It's amazing.
All right, so what we're gonna do real quick is just show you how we would kind of charge that vibrate. So the whole goal is that when she feels the vibrate, she's going to correlate that with an extremely positive association, which would be the treats. So I'm going to tap vibrate, boom, and give it to her. Vibrate, give it to her. Vibrate, boom, give it to her. Now eventually, we want to kind of make it a little bit harder for her. Vibrate, there we go, give it to her. Now see how she was looking here and kind of turned my way? that's what we want to do. So in the beginning stages of it, when you're at home in your living room or whatever, it's just vibrate, treat, vibrate, treat, vibrate, treat. Then you kind of step up the ante a little bit, and I'm gonna press vibrate and not give it to her until she looks at me. Bam, right there.
Give us your elevator speech in a nutshell.
My
What do you do?
pitch? Okay, so if somebody came out to me and say, hey Tom, what exactly do you do? Why is your dog training different? We get your dog from, what's her name on Shark Tank, from zero to hero, I guess. So we take your dog from not knowing anything, not really listening to you, maybe in the living room, to being obedient outside, in public, with distractions, even off leash, depending on the package that you purchase. So we get them to listen when it counts and when it's practical, because what good is it? I mean, if your dog can sit with a treat, yeah, that's great, but can you take it to Starbucks and relax and sip a latte and have your dog hold that sit or hold that down until you release it? Can you take your dog to the farmer's market and not have to worry and be stressed out about it running after another dog or pulling your shoulder out of your socket? So we specialize in getting dogs to listen when it really counts, with lots of levels of distraction.
Well, Tom, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for everything with Angel.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Anything you want to say to San Diego moms out there?
Sure. If you guys are interested in training, if you have a furry friend, we do private one-on-one training sessions, and that's where we teach you and we give you the tools and the know-how to go home and train your dog. So it is more work on you. So we have private one-on-one training sessions, and we also do board and trains, which is really our bread and butter. That's what we're known for. We do 7-day on-leash board and trains, 2-week off-leash board and trains, and then we also have a new 3-week top dog package, which is like everything. Your dog off leash, doing advanced commands and stuff like that. And for your followers, we'll do 10% off. So you just call my assistant Janessa and say, I follow, I'm not sure what the name of your blog is.
San Diego Moms.
San Diego Moms. I follow San Diego Moms, and Tom offered us 10% off, and we'll get you all set.
Thank you.
Cool.